All right, how's everyone doing? I am Rich CELENZA. Thanks for checking out the Rich CELENZA show. So, what I'm going to call this podcast is Learn to Say No When Wanting to Lose Weight. And, I haven't done a weight loss or a gaining muscle type podcast or video in a long time, but I want to touch upon something that I've been going through personally lately, which is losing weight. If you know anything about me, I do a lot of different videos on YouTube or even podcasts regarding the subject of losing weight and all the different tricks that I've learned that work for me, which is one is like losing a pound a week or a pound a month or all these different things, which I'm not going to get into now. You can research those if you'd like. But I have a problem sometimes just gaining, or I should say my weight fluctuating throughout my life at different times. And it just happened again. So I started to gain a quick 8 to 10 pounds. And I wanted to stop it and nip it in the bud. And I'm like, oh, that's no problem for me. I can knock out 5-10 pounds in a week usually. I can lose it if I want. I was really good at doing that. And then I found myself not doing that, actually gaining a little more weight, kind of going the other way. Now, I don't know if that's because of age, but my workouts really didn't change that much. Eating was pretty close, but I realized not much changed, but the weight was just jumping on me. I also realized it wasn't coming off me the way it used to. And even, I was just really a master at, I think, gaining and losing weight. And I think it started when I was younger, when I used to wrestle. I really started to learn how to gain and lose weight, or what worked for me, what type of exercises. It could be also not just weightlifting. I know if I want to lose weight, I can run. For some reason, when I ran very quickly, I can lose weight doing that. Outside, though, especially in Florida. So, to make a long story short, all of a sudden, I'm like, all right, I'm going to quickly lose this 10 pounds that I want to lose. And I thought about even getting down to a weight that I haven't been to, which is 190 in a very long time. Last time I dropped down to 190, 185, I didn't like the way I looked. My eyes kind of sunk in. I started getting black circles around my eyes, even though I was very shredded. My body, for my age, was very ripped up. But nonetheless, this time, a lot of complications. I don't know what the hell happened. So to trigger it, last week I said, I just got to run. I got to kick this in the ass, even though it hurts my knees and my joints and everything from working out throughout my life. I basically run and walk. But for some reason, when I start doing that, it really kicks it in gear, which it did again. That's kind of my last resort, because even when I was backing up my portions, a lot of swimming, more than usual. That usually even starts kicking things in the gear and other things as well. But I think what I really had to go back to is something that I used to talk about when I used to wrestle. And people would ask me, man, how'd you lose weight so quickly or so easily? And it's just learning how to say no. It's not easy to say no, especially when you're in a household full of a lot of Italians that can cook, like my mother, a lot of my family members as well. Also my friends. A lot of my friends' parents were unbelievable cooks, grandparents, and living in Chicago, comfort food, I don't know if you've ever been there, is amazing. And it's really affordable, which I got to say is one thing about Chicago is it's really good food and it's really reasonably priced. It's just, I don't know if you've been there, they got Chicago beef, sausage, burgers, anything meat-driven, subs. I could go on forever, but they're just really good, besides pizza and everything else. But learning to just say no. And I had problems with my stomach off and on. So it was easy for me to kind of say no, because I'd be like, oh, if I eat that, I'll have a problem. Or if I eat that, I'll cramp up. Or if I eat that, I'll feel like shit. So it was easier, I think, for me to say no. But then after I graduated high school, I ate everything, reprogrammed my mind and my stomach to be able to eat whatever I wanted, and worked out like an animal. And that's when I wanted to gain weight. But back to learning to say no. See, the thing is, a lot of times, too, it's the no and the second go. So you may eat some food, back to portion control, and you may be, and I just went through this with something downstairs. My girlfriend cooked some chicken. It was delicious, rice, salad. She makes these big meals, carrots, all these different things. And a lot of times it's not, the first helping. It's the second helping to say no. Or if it's someone saying, just finish this up. Finish the rice up. Okay, I finished the rice up. Now that you did that, just finish this up. Or it could even be beverages, right? Certain drinks. I don't care if it's wine. I don't care if it's a beer. It could be a coffee. Learning just to say no on the second go around. A lot of times we do things 2, 3, times over when we don't have to. Back to portion control. But also, I really kind of learned this kind of when I was making films too. Because I would set up a table a lot of times at our shoots and I had a lot of food out there. And sometimes it would be very time consuming. And I would even go to some of the best Italian restaurants in Chicago, like for comfort food, Freddy's. I don't know if you ever heard of that. Or I'd put out beefs or sausage and all these sandwiches, sub sandwiches for everybody. And they loved it. And then you're standing around, you eat, do some work. It's like the crowd, it's the table has all this different foods. And I would throw donuts and I'd stop at, again, Italian pastry shops. I kind of did it for myself as well. And your, craft services type thing. The food is very accessible throughout the day. I just had and again, I gained weight while making films. Plus I started smoking cigars. And while making films, I did work out a couple hours a week, but I was always consumed with creating the film. So I wasn't getting, on the other end, a lot of other aerobic exercising in like I normally do. But again, I just had to learn to say no after a while. And if you're having a problem, with portion control, and I don't talk about this a lot, sometimes we got to, back up on the portions. I think that's a huge thing. But it's also, I think a lot of people back up on the portions, but they also have a second helping. Or it's just kind of a combination of things. And it's also being around other people. And honestly, I think a lot of it's about feeling guilty. Even when I go to my mother's, I have to when I stay with her. She cooks so much incredible food, and she's always offering me food. I think she gets upset with me, or I get upset with her, and I'm like, Ma, stop asking me if I want anything. I don't want it. I do. I should say I want everything. But if I kept eating like this, especially at night, I would be, 300 pounds. I have to learn to say no, even to my mother, who's an incredible cook. But I could be, even picking up pizzas. Last time I was in Chicago for my family members, and, I pick up, 2 large pizzas. Did I need 2 large? No, I overdid it. And then, I'm eating pizza, and then we go home, and do I need more pizza a few hours later? No, but I'm eating it. Again, I've gotten away with it, truthfully, because I work out very hard and I know my body. But a lot of people, they don't know their body very well. But I'm just telling you, learn to just say no once in a while, even if you got to offend people. Especially at night. At night, at least I see all these different types of people with different habits, bad habits. Sometimes I literally see too many people eating too big of a breakfast, in my opinion. And a lot of people be like, oh, breakfast is the most important meal. I think that's a con. And I think any meal is important. Just you have to figure out what time works best for you to feel your best. If you're going to eat a huge meal and breakfast and you're dragging ass throughout the rest of the day, I don't think that's necessarily right for you. Some people could do it, but I also think a lot of Europeans I grew up with, especially Italian family members, they would very light on the breakfast, and throughout their day, would build up kind of and then have a bigger dinner. They liked it, and I like that as well. I can do either one, but I did realize at my age now, the smaller the breakfast, even though I like oatmeal and orange juice, the more I kind of feel better throughout the day not having a huge breakfast. Or a smoothie, for instance, it's very heavy, where I used to be able to handle all those things. But yeah, you got to really figure out what, works best for you again. And I talk about that all the time, but learning to really say no to a lot of things. And it could even be going to Starbucks, maybe, ordering a smaller size, or any coffee house, or maybe having too many lattes, too many cappuccinos, maybe too big. You want a shake, I get it. Getting a smaller steak, you want a beef sandwich, say in Chicago, you get a regular beef, not the beef and a half or the combo. Just, again, saying no, you know what, I'm trying to lose weight, or hey, I'm trying to maintain a certain weight. And it comes down to no. And it's very hard. I get it. So I just thought I would do a podcast on this. If you have any questions or comments, you can hit me up. But I really do think a lot of it, honestly, just comes down to you saying no if you want to lose weight or maintain a certain weight. But a lot of us, and it's not even telling others no, is what I'm saying. It's telling yourself no. You don't need cookies at night a lot of times. Sure, you can have one, but a lot of us, as you know, have too many. You can have some chips, maybe just a little bit, or a certain amount, a smaller bag of chips, not a full bag, right? Even you go for French fries or something, you don't have to get a large. You could get a small. A lot of things I realized throughout my life, you can once you program your brain, the smaller works just as much as the big a lot of times. So, a lot of times like say cappuccinos, for instance, and I'm downsizing, I like a large one, right? But I drop to the medium, and now I can kind of go small if I need to. I can almost go espresso, but I just like the ambiance of drinking that now. But it could be ice cream. I like a lot of ice cream, but I went from getting a large sundae, I'm back down to a small. And I went for, actually, I'm going to wrap it up with this. Thank God I did. I went to this one crazy place in Jacksonville, and they had alligator, all these kangaroo, all these different things on the menu. God, I forgot the name of the restaurant. They even had alligator toes you could get, and elk, and all these different types of things that were very unique, I guess you could call it gaming foods. And they had a prime rib, and the guy said that we're there with another couple. You have to try the prime rib first, even though they're more known for seafood. He's like, go with the small. The big's just a monster. You don't even realize it. He's like, no one could even finish it. And I said, yeah, I'm going small anyways. They brought it out. It was a beast. I was like, oh, my God. And, oh, man, I just remembered I left that steak, the bone for my dog in the hotel. Damn it. Anyways, my point being is a lot of times, even if you're at restaurants, steakhouses, or anywhere, you could go with a smaller portion. Lean back. You don't necessarily have to have the biggest steak a lot of times, especially if you want to lose weight or all those things. I tell you, a lot of times you can get filled up, or you'll get your fix by something smaller is what I should say. All right. That's all I got for you. If you want, check out my website, richcelenza.com. Take care, and I wish you nothing but the best.